This is my Volkswagen Jetta GLI. That is an Audi RS3, a 400 horsepower track monster. Well, these two cars are different in both their drivetrains and their engines. They both share the same chassis. So that got me thinking, can my $20,000 Jetta punch above its pay grade and take down the $70,000 RS3 at a racetrack? I think so. But in order to do that, we need to go to Pacific Raceways and really see Alright, you join us going through turn 8 in the GLI. Right, we're at Pacific Raceways in Kent, Washington. As you're hearing me say, a lot of body roll in this thing. I want you to notice while you're watching this video how slowly I have to turn the wheel. It takes me almost 5 seconds sometimes to get to my full commit to my full turn in. Just because it takes that long to weight up the stock suspension and to weight up the chassis and the sway bars into the turn. It needs a lot of negotiating, especially you hear me exasperating what 200 horsepower looks like. I let my dad pass me in the 1M for the eye candy, the ear candy, but 200 horsepower makes a big difference. On the brakes at the first cone right there going to turn 1, trying a single late apex line, double apex line. Normally they advise you to take the single late apex. I'm just trying to see what works out. You can hear my front tires though are being hooked. On the front tires and brakes, those are the only two mods that I have on just so I don't die at the racetrack. I'm gonna talk over myself, which is.
I think that's pretty much well found. I mean, I'm leaving like a second after.
I'm leaving a second because right we're at a racetrack. I'm not gonna try to push it really, really hard. I still want to drive this car home, and that's why I have Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on here, and I have EBC yellow brake pads all around the car. Just basic track mods to make sure that I can actually survive a track day, but 95% stock. You can just hear my frustration though with what 200 horsepower looks like. When we're looking though between the RS3 and the GLI, I'm going to be playing a clip of the RS3 after this lap. It's going to be in Assetto Corsa. I want you to notice how much more snappy the turn-in is, but how much the characteristics and the lines look the same. We're still fighting understeer in both cars, with the Jetta more so, but the Jetta is also lighter, so it's more tossable into a turn. But turn, that takes 5 seconds to commit to that full turn-in, and my front tires are so scrubbing and crying. I'm trying to be delicate to them. But with the amount of understeer that this car has in its suspension setup, there's not too much that I can really do. At the end of that, you can see, if we're imagining that's what a RS3 looks like in my dad's 1M, that's how much you'll gain on you in one lap, with just the horsepower alone, and let alone the suspension, the brakes. Slow down. And now we transition into the RS3. As you saw, Pacific Raceways in the Jetta had some complications, but you're going to see there's a lot of similarities between these two. Obviously, this is sim, I can push a little harder, but carrying a lot more speed on the brakes a lot later. I'm on the brakes significantly later right there. For this, I'm in Assetto Corsa. I give myself 20 minutes around Pacific Raceways in the RS3 to set down a lap time, just so it could be kind of similar to what it could be like in real life, because if not, I could spend 4 hours here perfecting this lap. I will say I couldn't find a perfect mod that was a stock RS3 for Assetto Corsa, so I'm going to give this a 6-second handicap. So we're going to add 6 seconds onto the lap, just to kind of simulate what this would be without all the mods, because this has better tires, better brakes, better suspension. I want a hope. I need this thing to have some stockness to it. Going through 8 though, on the brakes late, it's stable on turn 9. It's so snappy on the turn in. Going out wide, I mean, you can just put the power down in such a powerful way. Obviously, we're fighting understeer the entire time in the RS3, because that's average Audi stuff. But as long as you're careful on the brakes and careful on the steering, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Coming down the front straight right now though, about to cross the start-finish line right now. That's a 130.9. We will take that indeed. That is the time to beat. With a 6-second handicap, that is a 136.9. Round that up to a 137. But let's see what we actually ran Pacific Raceways in the Jetta. And to answer the question, not really that good. Our best was a 147.5, which we are fairly consistent on, 147.6, 147.5. I have these 2 laps or sessions out because I want to point out that the first 2 sessions I had, we're not making full power. As you can see, it's almost 15 seconds slower for end of the front straight. You can see we're almost 40 kilometers an hour slower. That's 20 something miles. That's almost 25 miles an hour slower. Why? Because the charge pipe off my turbo into my intercooler disconnected, and so I was making boost into the atmosphere and not into my engine, so I wasn't making full power. I only had full power for the last session, so I feel like after 20 minutes of pushing, 20 minutes in the sim felt fair, but there's absolutely 100% time to make up on this racetrack because I only had 20 minutes to really push. And all of this, I had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laps to push at full power. Insert cool transition. And our best theoretical lap out of all of the splits. Yeah. Alright, so our theoretical best we got, after adding up all of them, is a 146.151, which means that there's over a second and a half that I could shave off of this lap time. But don't you worry, I have a plan that guarantees that this Jetta will be faster than an RS3 around Pacific Raceways. Now, we're going to be modifying with the Takumi Fujiwara mindset. That means extracting as much performance out of the car as we can before moving on to performance mods. The first thing we're going to be doing in that is see if more seat time equates to more lap time. We're going to be heading out to Pacific Raceways as the car is now, because I feel like I left a couple seconds on the table, and we're going to be seeing if more seat time does just that. The second thing we're going to be doing is getting a stickier tire on. Also, editor me, I didn't mention this. Along with tires, we're going to be doing brakes at the same time because they kind of go hand in hand. You need stickier tires to brake harder, and you need better brakes to brake harder. Yeah. Right now, the car is running Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which, as good as they are as a sporty daily driver tire, they're not exactly the best around the track. They drain quickly and they fade even quicker. See if a stickier tire means more lap time. The third thing we're going to be doing is in the chassis. See if suspension, sway bars, and control arms can make the front end a little bit more precise, so I don't have to spend so long nursing it into a turn, so that I can brake later while not overloading my front tires on turning. The fourth thing that we're going to be doing is in the interior. Seats and a harness to see if we can get some weight out of the seats, see if we can get me sitting a little bit lower, better driving position, and see if I can spend less time holding myself in the seat as I am actually turning the wheel. Then we're going to start to move towards the engine, intercooler, oil cooler, all of the things that we're going to be needing to get ready to make more power. And then next up, a more power, baby. We're going to be doing a tune. We're going to be doing all of the things that Jetta and Volkswagen enthusiasts love to do to their cars just to get that little bit of performance out of there. Then we're going to be doing some fun aero stuff just to see if it will shave off a couple more tenths. And then we're going to be doing the final test at Pacific Raceways to see if all of those mods will beat an RS3. Now, every time we're going to be doing a mod, we're going to be going back out to Pacific Raceways to see if that mod actually equates to more lap time. And we're going to be seeing exactly which one of those mods will be able to get this Jetta to beat an RS3 around the racetrack. So, leave a like if you're interested in this video, subscribe if you want to see when these videos exactly come out, and comment down below which one of those mods you think will be able to beat the RS3. I think after the brakes, we'll be pretty darn close. If you guys want to see what happened last time I tried to work on a car, look up here. I'm still traumatized by that. But, till then, have a good day, guys.